So when I tell people that I have this project called Theology of Dance that's geared toward teaching Catholic theology and practices in the context of dance, I get lots of different responses, depending on who I talk to. But two kind of stick out to me. One is when I'm talking to a devout Catholic who does not dance, and they're like, "Wow, that sounds kind of interesting." It says, "How's it work? What's it like? What's it about?" And the other is when I talk to a devout Catholic, a serious Catholic who understands their faith, who does dance. They're like, "Wow, that's so cool. That's such a great idea." And the difference between the two kind of, for me, really explains why I'm so excited about theology of dance and why I think it's such a great idea. So what is theology of dance based off of? It's based mostly off of theology of the body. For those of you not familiar with that, theology of the body is a series of talks given by John Paul II from 1979 until 1984, which he explained how the human body makes visible the invisible, the spiritual and the divine. By understanding the human body, especially the human body as being male and female, we can understand who God is, what heaven's like, what's the relationship between Christ and the church, what's the relationship between God and the soul. All these wonderful concepts we can understand just by understanding and looking at the body in the correct way. That's kind of the theology of the body. So there are some key terms in theology of the body that we really need to know if you want to understand it. One of them is called the spousal analogy. It's pretty simple. If you look at the Bible and God wants to explain what his relationship with Israel is like, or what Jesus' relationship with the church is like, they use the analogy of marriage. So the idea that the marriage is the perfect analogy to describe a relationship to God. It also actually is the perfect analogy to describe who God is as Holy Trinity. And so by better understanding the relationship, the sacrament of marriage, we better understand who God is. And when it's lived out well, that sacrament, that relationship becomes a sign that very effectively points us and tells us who God is. Another key point, obviously very much linked to the first, is called the nuptial meaning of the body. That's basically the idea when God says, "In the beginning God made us male and female in his image and likeness," that by understanding that, looking at us being male and female, our bodies, our personalities, our psychologies, and how we interact, we come to see that we are designed to give ourselves away. That only in giving ourselves away, or giving ourselves fully, do we come to understand who we are. So it's very important for us, to understand that we need to give ourselves away in love, otherwise we'll never come to truly discover who we are. So nuptial meaning of the body, in a nutshell, it's more complicated than this, but in a nutshell means that because we are made male and female, we can see that we only in giving ourselves away can we come to truly discover who we are. In fact, that we are made to give ourselves away in love. So why theology of dance? Why add dance into it? Well, as it turns out, that dance, if you look at dance, it actually looks like a lot like a stylization of courtship. This was a point that C.S. Lewis made. And if you look at dance, and you can kind of see right away that a lot of the needs and the practices in dance mirror, say, going on a date or courting a girl. All right, and so C.S. Lewis said, dancing is a stylization of courtship. And so, in some sense, we can look at dancing and say, hey, it's an overview, it's a Cliff Notes version of courtship, and so we can better understand the marriage relationship, the nuptial relationship, by understanding dance. The way I like to put it is it gives us an experiential vocabulary. So a lot of times, if two people have shared the same experience, they can use it as a common reference for another experience. What's it like? Oh, it's like playing in the Super Bowl. I don't know what that means, but for another person who has, they have that experience. For me, it's just like dancing. Another dancer has that common frame of experience. A non-dancer doesn't. And so, and these experiences to me are just so powerful and so efficient in explaining the theology of the body that I just think that dance is one of the best ways to explain it. Going back to the beginning of this video, the difference between the non-dancer and the dancer and the responses to theology of dance. To the non-dancer, it doesn't seem to make sense, but the dancer, it makes perfect sense. So, is dancing a necessary tool for understanding the theology of the body? for understanding our theology of God. No, I mean, marriage in and of itself, courtship in and of itself, is sufficient. It is the sign, it is the sacrament given by God. But, given the opportunity to have such a powerful tool as dancing to understand our faith, I mean, why would you want to turn it down? And besides, it's a lot of fun.